Part 13. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 121. You, wait for me to crush your head. Jim said with red eyes. After the drug enters the body, the reaction is very fast. Jim's body began to tremble, blood vessels burst out one by one, and bones began to rattle. Sounds like something is cracking. Is it so cruel? Wang Ran and Su Xiao took a few steps back. Jim in front of him, his body swelled rapidly, and instantly grew from 1 meter 8 to 2 meters 1. The skin of his whole body began to fester quickly, and the hair kept falling to the ground. What's even more terrifying is that his chest actually cracked. The heart, which was originally the size of a fist, suddenly swelled to the size of a basketball, and half of it was exposed outside the chest cavity. His arms also stretched a lot, hanging down to his knees, and his nails grew wildly, forming Wolverine-like claws. From the appearance, it looks like a first-generation tyrant in Resident Evil. Look at Xiao, how long are his claws? I think he can cut steel plates with his bare hands. Wang Ran touched his chin and said, Master, you are so ugly. I don't want it. Su Xiao looked disgusted. The guy on the opposite side seems to have changed from an awakened person to a zombie. However, this is really ugly. Su Xiao would rather be weaker than become like this. Just imagine, if you become like this, how can you find the owner to eat? The master will also refuse. Hateful. You are still in the mood to joke. Jim's neck was like the vines of a dead tree, rubbing and making a creepy noise as he spoke. He was very upset. After this needle, he did gain great strength, but at the same time he suffered great pain. What made him even more unacceptable was that he actually turned into such a ghost. Moreover, he became a little bloodthirsty, and the killing intent was too strong to control. He knew that he should be turned into a zombie. Henry is right, 2 injections by one person will indeed cause an accident. However, Jim's mentality is completely different now. The Black Sand mercenary group no longer exists. Dead man? It's none of his business. There is only one thought in his mind, that is to kill all the people here. Xiao, go try it. Wang Ran put his hands in his pockets and said calmly. The enemies Xiao encountered in the past were almost all instant kills. This is a rare opportunity for Xiao to practice. Xiao slowly stretched out her claws, took a step forward, and got ready for battle. Jim raised his head and let out a long howl, finally completing the process of tearing himself apart. With red eyes, he charged towards Su Xiao with his half-meter-long claws. Su Xiao's pupils flashed slightly. Instinct tells her that the opponent is very strong and can't be hard. Su Xiao made a tentative step, trying to find an opportunity to counter-attack when the opponent's claw attack failed. Unexpectedly, the opponent's experience is extremely rich, and the first attack turned out to be a false move. After Su Xiao moved quickly, Jim's claws immediately followed. Su Xiao couldn't change his direction again, so he could only cross his claws on his chest. Chong! A sharp crash. Su Xiao and Jim's claws even collided with sparks. Puff! Su Xiao couldn't bear the attack, so he took a few steps backwards, spraying blood, and slammed into the edge of the bridge heavily. Okay, Xiao. Go to the back for a rest, and I'll give you a snack in the evening. Wang Ran gave Xiao a look. Su Xiao's face turned red. Snack ah! It's not in vain this time. Oops, if I had known that I had vomited more blood and pretended to be pitiful, the master would have been more sympathetic. Although this monster is powerful, its speed is comparable to its own. If you really go all out to fight him, you won't be able to tell the outcome. Su Xiao ran behind Wang Ran while thinking wildly. Wang Ran walked towards Jim with the hammer. Wang Ran already knew roughly the strength of his opponent. There is indeed a gap between Xiao and him, but it is not big. It is estimated that it will be a protracted battle and it is a waste of time. Judging from the battle between the two, Wang Ran can conclude that this guy should have the strength of the advanced mutant zombies mentioned in the forum. That is, one level higher than Xiao and Momo. Wang Ran was very curious about what he could do with him. You are the worst. Jim's eyes were red, staring at Wang Ran. Jim's body continued to have holes and continued to open, and a lot of pus flowed out, and his heart, which was half exposed on the chest, was beating violently. However, the heart rate is slowly decreasing. Wang Ran could see that this guy was taking drugs too hard and his body couldn't take it anymore. Without Wang Ran's action, this guy couldn't last for 3 minutes. Think about it, if it is so easy to create a guy of this level, it is possible that the laboratory wants to rule the world. Wang Ran took the hammer and walked towards Jim. While he's still hot, while he's still strong, hurry up and have a good time. It's rare to meet an opponent who can fight like this, so it can't be wasted. Jim also strode towards Wang Ran. The half-meter-long claws were like several machetes, directly slashing at Wang Ran's head. Wang Ran swung his hammer and hit Jim's arm in midair. This claw attack was directly bounced off. Wang Ran's hand holding the hammer trembled slightly. The opponent's strength is indeed not small. Just looking at the strength, it is almost as powerful as 2 Xiao or 1.5 Tang Tang. If it wasn't for the high-purity original virus he got from Little Ada last night, Wang Ran might not have. It will take a while to kill him. Jim quickly pounced on Wang Ran again. A continuous onslaught. Wang Ran took it easily. That's it, it doesn't make any sense. Wang Ran sighed a little bored. The opponent is still not enough to fight by himself. As a strong man, it's just so lonely. Wang Ran rushed forward and rushed directly in front of Jim. Jim's hand was too long to retract. Wang Ran directly punched Jim's exposed half of his heart. Jim's heart burst like a watermelon. Dark red plasma spurted out like a fountain. Wang Ran immediately jumped aside, but still got some stains. Hey, Jiaxin has another headache while doing laundry. Wang Ran looked at his blood-stained clothes and sighed. Boom. Jim's massive body fell to the ground. Wang Ran did not take it lightly, and dragged the hammer to Jim's side. It's like this kind of little boss, after killing it, you must poke the corpse, so as not to be killed by him. The third update of the blade, I collapsed today, I will start later tomorrow, and the update will be at noon. Pie time is up. I was chased by my lustful girlfriend, seduced by a beautiful senior, and my cold sister wanted to give me personality training. Kansaki Yuchin panicked, became a toy for a bad girl, and lost his dignity completely, and he would not accept such an ending. Committed to repairing the harmonious relationship between siblings, taking demonic girlfriends seriously, rejecting all bad temptations, and becoming a novelist. Hold on, something is wrong. Why is his lovely girlfriend's family all succubus? My girlfriend is so bad. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 122. When Wang Ran raised the hammer, Jim's heart was desperate. Although his heart was blown up, there is still a weakened version of the heart in his body that can still be used. After all, he has been transformed with 2 injections of medicine, and his vitality is extremely strong. He lay on the ground and pretended to be dead, just to find an opportunity to fight back. Who would have thought that this guy would actually whip a corpse? It's too late to hide now. Jim's head was smashed by Wang Ran's hammer. Well, it looks like he's really dead. Wang Ran nodded. He was relieved when he died. Wang Ran groped on Jim's body and found a pad. This thing needs retina unlock. Wang Ran searched on the ground, and finally found an eyeball that had not been blown up. Sweep it, it really opened. In this pad, the information of the Black Sand mercenary group is recorded in detail. The location of the secret base, member structure, material reserves, etc., are all clearly recorded. Through this pad, Wang Ran knew that this mercenary group was destroyed in his own hands. So poor. However, Wang Ran did not find the employer's information on it. This mysterious laboratory can develop this kind of strength-enhancing medicine, which is a hidden danger for Wang Ran's base. Otherwise, find their location and put them in a pot. Or find the tracker on Little Ada. Otherwise, the base will always maintain a vigilant state. This time I killed the Haisha mercenary group, and next time there will be Baisha, Huangsha. Annoyed to death. However, the materials of the Black Sand mercenary group recorded in the pad aroused Wang Ran's interest. Hard currency gold is several hundred kilograms smaller. There are thousands of cans. There is also a lot of alcohol and tobacco. It seems that the days of this Haisha mercenary group are still quite nourishing. Besides, what makes Wang Ran jealous the most is that there is a Mi-26 transport helicopter in their base. This is one of the most powerful helicopters in the world. Under normal circumstances, the load can reach 20 tons. With half load, the battery life can reach 500 kilometers. It can be said that it is a transportation artifact that can ignore the terrain. With this thing, even if the bridge is bombed, Wang Ran can easily enter and exit Donghu Island. Gotta get this thing. Wang Ran wrote down the coordinates of the base of the Black Sand mercenary group. Master, it's raining, come back quickly. Wu Jiaxin ran to the bridge with an umbrella. This guy looks cold on the surface, but he always cares about himself in small details. Wang Ran didn't even know what she meant. Today's battle is over, and it's time for a summary meeting. Wang Ran, Su Xiao and Wu Jiaxin returned to the lobby on the first floor of the main building together. Except for the girl number 11 who continued to maintain vigilance on the top floor and the girl number 8 who squatted in front of the surveillance camera, everyone sat in the lobby. Today, most of the girls were slightly injured. In the battle between Xiao and Jim, he was slightly injured. Everyone is doing well. Come on, let's talk about today's battle and how you feel. Wang Ran asked. Today is also the first serious defensive battle for this base. Today's battle, I feel more exciting than usual practice. Yes, we usually keep fighting, but today we really gave up. I feel that our actual combat experience is still not enough. As soon as the other party cooperates, we can't handle it a bit. Oh, some of you have played well. We are on guard on the edge of the cliff, and we don't even have a chance to shoot. The girls chatted and chatted. Seeing that they were all in good spirits, Wang Ran nodded with satisfaction. In the future, there will be more battles and more experience to gain experience. Okay, everyone has gained some practical experience after this battle. In the future, Xiao, you can take them for more in-depth battle training, and you can start with a bit more. Tang Tang performed well today, and his marksmanship is very good. You can practice a lot with two girls who are talented in shooting. Momo has done a good job of monitoring today, and continue to maintain it. Don't be sad if Jiaxin doesn't have a chance to take action today. Every mission in the base is very important, and it doesn't have to be to perform in battle. Remember to take good care of the vegetable garden. Wang Ran commented on the girls' performance one by one. The girls nodded. What the master said was right. Oh, by the way, do any of you know how to fly planes and yachts? Wang Ran asked. The Mi-26 transport helicopter of Haisha, Wang Ran was very drooling and had to get it. From here to the base of Haisha, there is a distance of about 100 nautical miles, either by flying over or by boat. Wang Ran didn't know where there were helicopters in N City, but it was clear where there were ships. City N is a coastal city with many rich people, so yachts sell very well. You can find a lot of yachts in any pier. Wang Ran's plan was to drive a yacht and fly back with a transport helicopter with all the supplies in Haisha. Master, I can fly a helicopter. I've always dreamed of being a pilot, so I took advantage of my vacation to get my helicopter license. I have no problem with ordinary civilian helicopters. If I look at the manual for transport aircraft, I should be able to handle it. Wu Jiaxin volunteered to say. Originally, she wanted to become a female pilot, but because of the physical test, she had to give up. So she signed up for the flight attendant class, hoping to realize her dream of flying in the sky. During the holidays, she also went to learn a helicopter license, just so that she could fly in the sky. Okay, count on you. Wang Ran nodded. Unexpectedly, Wu Jiaxin can always come in handy at critical moments. It was a wise choice to save her from a street lamp at the time. Uncle, I will sail. Tang Tang also raised his small hand. Can you sail at a young age? This is not a game. Don't think you can sail a boat if you've played a simulation game. Wang Ran's face twitched. Uncle, I really do. I have several yachts at home, just parked on the bund. I just got my yacht license when I turned 16. Tang Tang said very proudly. Wang Ran sighed. Okay, you have money and you are self-willed. Then Tang Tang and Jiaxin will go out with me tomorrow. Xiao, Momo, you two should take care of the base. Although Haisha's group has been wiped out, we can't take it lightly. Wang Ran arranged it. Tang Tang and Wu Jiaxin's eyes lit up at the same time. You can go out with the master. Tang Tang, naturally needless to say, after all, there is experience. Wu Jiaxin. And Wang Ran has not broken that layer of relationship yet. Of course she had heard that girls who went out with Wang Ran generally had some benefits. Thinking of this, her face turned red all of a sudden. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 123. By the way, Master, you said they were found by the tracker in Little Ada. Wu Jiaxin asked. Yes, you don't have any research on this, do you? Wang Ran was stunned. Does Wu Jiaxin still have extra points? We took lessons in airport security. If it's a tracker, it must contain metal. If you can find where it is and you can hit it with a shock, you can break down its circuit. I remember there were metal detectors and stun sticks in the security room of the hotel. Wu Jiaxin said. She remembered a case in safety class where people would hide contraband under their skin to get on a plane. Presumably this tracker was also injected into Little Ada's body by injecting nanochips. Okay, you go get something and come to my villa to gather. If the others pack up the battlefield, they should leave first. Remember to arrange for people to watch in shifts at night. After Wang Ran finished speaking, he came to Xiaojin's villa. Xiao Ada was playing Wusong and Tiger there. Xiao Jin looked sad but did not dare to resist. Oh, you showed your stomach when I was sliding the shovel. Little Ada was having a great time, but she didn't notice Wang Ran coming. Okay, Ada, come with me. I figured out a way to get rid of the tracker on you. Wang Ran took Ada's little hand. Really? Can you really destroy the tracker? Little Ada's eyes lit up. In this way, you can really completely escape the control of the laboratory. Thinking of this, little Ada jumped up and down even when she walked. Wang Ran's villa. Everything is ready. Wu Jiaxin took a handheld metal detector and scanned little Ada. The first time, nothing happened. Master, can I take off little Ada's clothes? Objects that are too tiny need to be placed very close to be detected. Wu Jiaxin asked. Wang Ran nodded and turned around. Little Ada was quickly stripped away. This time, Wu Jiaxin increased the sensitivity of the detector and directly attached Ada's skin. Finally, Wu Jiaxin sensed the presence of metal near the left shoulder behind Ada. Master, it seems that the size of this tracker is about 0.1 millimeters. It's a little difficult to take it out, so let's use an electric shock. Wu Jiaxin took a pen and drew a circle at the target position. Little Ada, it might hurt a bit. You have to hold back. Wu Jiaxin held the electric baton and instructed softly. Little Ada nodded. She can hold back the blood drawn every day. What is the electric shock? Wu Jiaxin took a deep breath and turned on the power. The top of the stun stick was beating with blue-white electric light, crackling. I'm coming. Wu Jiaxin said hello and stabbed the electric baton on the back of little Ada. Little Ada twitched directly. Clicking is a little too brutal for a child like her. However, in order to get rid of the tracker and avoid future troubles, this is the only way to do it. After a few seconds, Wu Jiaxin removed the electric baton. Little Ada continued to twitch for a while, then let out a long breath. She persisted and was not stunned. However, there was a small burn mark on her back. Ah, why don't you let Momo deal with the wound? Wu Jiaxin looked a little distressed. Any wound? You put on her pants first. Wang Ran ordered. Wu Jiaxin nodded and helped Ada dress up. Wang Ran turned around. A coin-sized wound was very obvious on little Ada's back. Let me do it. Wang Ran took out a Swiss Army knife and slashed it in his palm. Blood spilled out instantly. Wang Ran put his hand on Ella's back. As soon as the two touched, they were shocked at the same time. Ada felt the pain behind her disappear. The wound is visibly healing. Moreover, a strange power flowed into his body. And Wang Ran received the original virus from Ella again. Although the concentration is not high this time, it is still effective. After a few minutes, Wang Ran withdrew his hand. It's still a little bit closer to a breakthrough, but Wang Ran is in no hurry. Let's wait for Ada to rest for a few days. Wu Jiaxin wiped the blood on Ada's back. She was surprised to find that Ada's wound was gone. Master, you are amazing. Wu Jiaxin couldn't help but praise. When Wang Ran helped her with the wound on her finger, it was not unusual for the wound to heal quickly after all. But this time, it was a clear burn. Wang Ran's blood is simply a panacea. And I heard that there is something better than blood. Wu Jiaxin couldn't help licking his lips. Ah! What am I thinking? Wu Jiaxin blushed. What about flag? Forgot. Hold on to it, girl. Jiaxin, thank you for your hard work. Go back to rest early. You have to go out with me tomorrow. Wang Ran patted Wu Jiaxin on the shoulder. Well. Master, you should rest early too. Wu Jiaxin walked out of the villa with a blushing face. I'm going to see with my master tomorrow. What shall I bring? Would you like a bikini? Although I'm a little shy, even girls will be moved when I wear a bikini. Ah! What am I thinking? Wu Jiaxin blushed the more she thought about it, and ran out of the villa quickly. Wang Ran helped Xiao Ada get dressed from behind, and he was relieved. Facing Ada is more stressful than facing other girls. After all, I don't want to carry a perverted reputation. Big brother, hug. With tears in the corners of Xiao Aida's eyes, she plunged directly into Wang Ran's arms. Wang Ran rubbed Ada's head. For a child, the electric shock just now really hurts. It didn't take long for little Ada's breathing to become very symmetrical. Wang Ran saw that she had fallen asleep. Looking at little Ada's long eyelashes and round cheeks, Wang Ran couldn't help sighing. Such a cute child has been studied as an experiment for several years. Too much. When I meet them, I have to find a zombie to stuff them into their butts. Wang Ran carried little Ada onto the bed, and then walked out of the villa gently. Xiao was injured today, so he must give him a good reward. Wang Ran came to the villa next door. Tang Tang, Momo, and Xiao all put on bikinis and lay on the inflatable cushion of the villa pool. They seemed to be ready for a long time, waiting for Wang Ran to come. "Master, Miss Xiao is injured today, she needs to eat more." Lin Momo is very humble. At the same time, she felt a little regretful in her heart. She had known that she had rushed to the front line, and she would have a snack if she made a few small wounds. "Okay, everyone performed well today, and there are rewards. In addition, I'm going out tomorrow, so you can help me draw 100 cubic centimeters of blood and save it later. In case I am delayed outside for something, you can also make an emergency." Wang Ran said. Su Xiao and Lin Momo looked at each other, feeling a little flustered. "I have already secretly saved 500 cubic centimeters, it's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around." Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 124. The next morning, Wang Ran woke up refreshed. Since the strength has become stronger and stronger, it has become easier to deal with 3 girls. A few more must be able to handle it. After Su Xiao's special care last night, she still can't get out of bed. Tang Tang and Momo are better. After all, the number of times is small, and the road can still be moved. After getting up, Wang Ran came to the pool and had breakfast. Little Ada jumped and ran over. "Good morning, big brother." Little Ada greeted warmly. Wang Ran was stunned. "Ada, have you grown taller? I remember that yesterday when you wore this t-shirt it was still under your calf, and today it's over your knee." Wang Ran asked in surprise. "Yes. I also feel that little Ada has grown a little taller." Wu Jiaxin nodded aside. Not only did the legs grow a little longer, but little Ada's hair also grew a few inches. This growth rate is not normal. Could it be my blood? A strange thought popped into Wang Ran's mind. Yeah. Xiaojin seems to have drank his own blood, so he grows very fast. Tang Tang is also, from A to D. The girls in the flight attendant class also developed again and became a lot bigger. It seems that my blood is effective on living things. What the heck is oneself? Forget it, it's not a negative effect anyway. Wang Ran put aside his distracting thoughts and continued to eat breakfast. After eating, Wang Ran came to the lobby and waited for Tang Tang and Wu Jiaxin. Another outing today. It didn't take long for the two of them to arrive at the lobby with large and small bags. "I go." "Are you going on a trip?" "Let's not talk about backpacks, what do you mean by bringing a suitcase, Tang Tang?" Wang Ran's face twitched. "Oh, it's too boring on the road. I brought a Switch, and some swimwear and snacks." Tang Tang stuck out his tongue. I just brought some clothes and sunscreen." Wu Jiaxin blushed instantly. In her backpack were several sets of bikinis that Fang Shushan helped her choose. It is said that it can reflect the body shape. "Get in the car, let's go." Wang Ran helped carry the box. Going out this time, the car will definitely be left at the dock, so Wang Ran drove one of the off-road vehicles that Haisha drove from last night. Although the car collided with the refrigerator, and a piece was dented in the front, it had little impact. "Jiaxin, sit in the back." After Tang Tang finished speaking, he immediately jumped on the co-pilot. "Is there a difference between sitting in the front and the back?" Wu Jiaxin was stunned for a while, wondering why Tang Tang was so active. Soon, Wang Ran drove the two to the nearest pier. The road to the pier does not require navigation, just drive along the seaside, which is very simple. Tang Tang saw that Wang Rankai was so stable, and began to think carefully. She secretly stretched out her hand in the direction of Wang Ran. "Hey, Tang Tang, what are you doing with my stall? Don't mess up the stall for me." Wang Ran patted Tang Tang's hand. "Oops, the touch is close, I got it wrong." Tang Tang stuck out his tongue. After all, They are all round, thick and long, and it is indeed easy to make mistakes. Next, that's right. Tang Tang directly reached out and held Wang Ran's pillar. Across the pants, Tang Tang gently rubbed the head of the pillar. Soon the pillars were erected and a small tent was erected. Wu Jiaxin, who was sitting in the back seat, turned red all of a sudden. She had heard of the relationship between Wang Ran and these girls, but she had never seen it at the scene. Tang Tang just reached out and grabbed Wang Ran's private parts, which made Wu Jiaxin suddenly become nervous and cramped. Just look out the window. Wu Jiaxin turned his head. Tang Tang glanced at Wu Jiaxin through the rear-view mirror, the corners of his mouth raised slightly. It seems that this school flower is still a young child, so shy. In this case, I have to stimulate her well. Tang Tang stretched out his hand and directly pulled Wang Ran's pants down. The huge pillar jumped straight out, steaming hot. Tang Tang gently held the pillar with her white and tender hands. It feels so good. Tang Tang's fingertips landed on the top of the column and drew a circle gently. Wang Ran's body trembled slightly. The stimulation was too direct, making Wang Ran a little sensitive. He. Tang Tang secretly laughed a few times like a child who did bad things. Under the stimulation of Tang Tang's little hands, Wang Ran's pillars soon became extremely hard, and blue veins burst out. Tang Tang smelled the odor emanating from the pillar, and began to have a dry mouth. I hate it, this smell is so tempting, it makes me greedy. Tang Tang muttered in his heart, and then leaned down. Tang Tang's red lips were directly attached to the mouth of the pillar. Wang Ran only felt that his pillar was wrapped in something soft and warm, very comfortable. Soon, a nimble little snake emerged from Tang Tang's lips and swam to the head of the pillar. The little snake was extremely slippery, covering the top of the pillar with a transparent liquid. Call. Wang Ran let out a long breath. Tang Tang's technology progresses the fastest among all girls. Just after a few licks, Wang Ran had an uncontrollable urge. Tang Tang's eyes narrowed into a crescent moon. Uncle really likes this. Then go further. Tang Tang's little tongue began to drill into the spring at the top of the pillar. A little tight. Tang Tang drilled for a long time and only drilled in a small section. However, there was also a trace of clear liquid flowing out of the spring. Tang Tang directly rolled up the liquid with his tongue, and swallowed it mixed with saliva. It's not enough, I want more. Tang Tang's little tongue continued to spin on the top of the column. The head also began to slowly dip down. I don't know if Wang Ran is thicker, and Tang Tang's small mouth is stretched into a circle. You. Soon, Tang Tang felt that the pillar reached the depths of his throat. But there's still a big chunk left in my mouth. Tang Tang is not so easy to admit defeat, and directly swallowed the whole column to the end. At this time, the pillar has been completely inserted into Tang Tang's throat. Tang Tang's throat visibly bulged out. Then, Tang Tang slowly raised his head and spat out half of the pillar. It's a little hard to breathe. Uncle is too rough. Tang Tang sighed in his heart. Immediately afterwards, Tang Tang began to swallow up and down. The mouths of Zuzi and Tang Tang made a chirping sound. Wu Jiaxin in the back seat was shocked. Is this eaten? Although she had heard of it before, seeing it with her own eyes still made her speechless. Opening his mouth, Wu Jiaxin's small tongue couldn't help licking forward slightly, as if imitating Tang Tang's actions. At the same time, her two long legs were tightly clamped and rubbed slightly. Inside the black pantyhose, the goose yellow were already wet. Ah! What am I doing? Wu Jiaxin woke up suddenly. Own! Have you become so horny? Sister Jiaxin, if you want to eat, you have to run around the island naked 3 times. Tang Tang flew over with a bad little look. She caught Wu Jiaxin's intoxicated look through the rear-view mirror just now. Who said I'm going to eat? I'm not interested. Wu Jiaxin blushed all of a sudden, the two long legs kept moving, and there was nowhere to put them. The atmosphere in the carriage became more and more strange, and it was easy to blush just by smelling the smell. Hee hee. Tang Tang smiled, sat up straight, took off his shoes, and stretched a pair of long legs in white silk to the pillar. Some people with long legs may be better at it. Tang Tang glanced at Wu Jiaxin, and then clamped Wang Ran's wet pillar with his feet. Bai Si's little feet are sandwiched between the pillars, and when they go up and down, they will rub with the toes from time to time. Wang Ran's pillar has begun to tremble slightly. It looks like the volcano is about to erupt. Wu Jiaxin blushed. This kind of thing, the more restrained it is, the easier it is to inadvertently aim at it. Especially Tang Tang mentioned his long legs. Wu Jiaxin felt that his long black silk legs were now sandwiched between Wang Ran's pillars. The entire pant was completely soaked, and even the seat cushion of the car was wet. Sister Jiaxin. Tang Tang suddenly shouted. What? Wu Jiaxin turned his head. Pht. A hot and rich liquid sprayed out, just shot at Wu Jiaxin. Gollum. Wu Jiaxin swallowed subconsciously, and she swallowed a thick liquid directly. At the same time, her face was also covered with white liquid, which was slowly sliding down. What? This is... Wu Jiaxin quickly realized what had just happened. I actually ate Wang Ran's food directly. Also got shot in the face. Wu Jiaxin's whole body began to tremble. Mmmmm. Wu Jiaxin shivered violently. A stream of fluid ran down her thighs. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 125. Wang Ran carried the box and took Tang Tang and Wu Jiaxin to a small yacht of Tang Tang's family. Uncle, the fuel tank is 80% full, it's no problem to drive 500 nautical miles. Everything else works fine. Help me untie the rope, we're ready to go. Tang Tang is very familiar with this small yacht and has driven it many times. Soon, the yacht is heading towards the target direction. The base of the Haisha mercenary group is about 100 nautical miles away from here, which is more than 200 kilometers. According to the speed of the yacht, it will be reached very quickly. Tang Tang was driving the boat in the cabin, while Wang Ran was sitting on the sofa, blowing the sea breeze and looking at the seascape. Yo, there's a small fridge here. Wang Ran found a few bottles of foreign wine from the refrigerator. It's boring to drink alone. Where's Jiaxin? Where did you go? Wang Ran looked around, but did not find Wu Jiaxin. Suddenly, a head sticks out of the cabin. It's Wu Jiaxin. She blushed and dared not take a step. Yes, now she has put on a suit. Bikini with minimal fabric. Fang Shushan, that dead girl, said that she can highlight her figure, which is true. You can hardly see the cloth, all you see is the figure, but it highlights the figure. Excessive is that several pieces in the bag are in this style, and a few are more excessive, with only ropes. The fabric of this piece is at least as big as the bottle cap of the Nutrition Express, and the coverage is okay. Wu Jiaxin was in a dilemma and dared not go out. Hey, Jiaxin. Come, and have a drink with me. Wang Ran saw Wu Jiaxin's head and waved at her. To die is to die. Wu Jiaxin gritted his teeth and rushed out. Puff. Wang Ran took a sip of wine and sprayed it directly on Wu Jiaxin's chest. This bikini, all the fabrics are not bigger than the palm of your hand. It's too daring to wear. But then again, Wu Jiaxin's figure really has nothing to say. Regardless of the size of the specific parts, from the overall proportion, Wu Jiaxin's figure is the most perfect proportion among girls. The chest should have a C, the size is just right, and the shape is perfect, firm and round. And her waist makes people want to pinch it. This line is so perfect. Whether it is from the front or the rear, it can have a strong visual impact. As for her legs, it is the most perfect part of her body. The two long white and tender legs are outrageously long. Moreover, Wu Jiexin's thighs are not the kind of dry skinny legs, with meat on them but not fat. This kind of leg feels comfortable. As for Wu Jiexin's bare feet, they are perfect like a work of art. If the pillar is played with these feet, it must be a very enjoyable thing. Wang Ran sprayed like this just now, and Wu Jiexin's chest was full of wine. Excuse me. Wang Ran subconsciously took a tissue to help Wu Jiexin wipe it. After such a rub, the bikini that was originally not much was directly pulled down by Wang Ran. The two small pink grapes trembled slightly and swayed in front of Wang Ran. The two were instantly stunned. At this time, the yacht encountered a wave of waves and bumped a bit. Wu Jiexin fell straight forward. A small pink grape was just stuffed into Wang Ran's mouth. Yeah. Wu Jiexin trembled all over, and his hands were so nervous that there was nowhere to put them. The numbness in the is too strong. It's almost like flying. Ah! Tongue. Don't move your tongue. Master. Wu Jiexin couldn't help wrapping his arms around Wang Ran's head. Wang Ran's soft and warm tongue involuntarily drew a circle around Wu Jiexin's pink nipples. One lap, and another. Wu Jiexin trembled violently. The bikini couldn't hold any more, and a clear liquid flowed down her inner thighs, dripping on the ground. Wu Jiexin's legs softened, and she sat directly on Wang Ran's lap. And her pink were still held in Wang Ran's mouth. At this point, Wang Ran was no longer polite, and climbed on Wu Jiexin's firm breast with one hand. Wu Jiexin's two nipples, one was in Wang Ran's mouth, surrounded by his tongue, and the other was pinched by Wang Ran's thumb and index finger, rubbing gently. This direct stimulation made Wu Jiexin unable to bear it. Her two perfect jade feet were straightened, and her toes were hooked tightly. Seeing this, Wang Ran smiled slightly, let go of Wu Jiexin's little white rabbit, and gently held her waist with both hands. This waist is so soft. Wang Ran couldn't help but play around. Wu Jiexin's waist followed Wang Ran's kneading, gently twisting back and forth, as soft as boneless. Immediately afterwards, Wang Ran grabbed Wu Jiexin's waist and gently lifted her whole body. Hey! Wu Jiexin was stunned. What is this for? She soon found out. The of the bikini were ripped off by Wang Ran. There is no obstruction between the two. Wang Ran let go a little, and Wu Jiexin began to slide down against Wang Ran. Wu Jiexin's hole opened and closed as if he was breathing, and a large amount of liquid dripped down continuously, wetting the top of Wang Ran's pillar. Wu Jiexin was suddenly shocked. Bumped into. Something hit the hole. So hot. So hard. This touch made Wu Jiexin's legs tremble violently. A vague sense of anticipation and fear were constantly intertwined in her heart. Scared and excited. Don't be afraid. Wang Ran comforted easily. At the same time, Wang Ran pushed Wu Jiexin's lips away with his tongue. The two tongues are entangled. Wu Jiexin was a little intoxicated by the tongue kiss with Wang Ran. Suddenly, she felt her body sink. Dropped a few centimeters. And the pillar is the two fleshy lips that opened the hole, and went straight in. Ah, it hurts. A little too thick. Wu Jiexin couldn't help exclaiming. At the same time, a thin bloodshot flowed down the column. Wang Ran gently rubbed Wu Jiexin's waist. Wu Jiexin twisted involuntarily. With such a twist, the remaining half of the pillar was completely stabbed into the hole. Because of the sitting position, Wu Jiexin was pushed directly to the uterus. She dared not move. After all, this is her first time and she has no experience. Don't be afraid, just feel good. Wang Ran whispered in Wu Jiexin's ear. This sentence gave Wu Jiexin great strength. She stretched out her hand and wrapped her arms around Wang Ran's neck, giving Wang Ran the initiative of her body. Wang Ran grabbed Wu Jiexin's waist and began to slowly thrust. Puff, puff. The sound of the water is getting heavier. Although the channel was very tight, the large amount of liquid flowing out of Wu Jiaxin made the column extremely slippery and unobstructed. But the mouth of the hole was also stretched very tightly. Every time he entered and exited, the circle of meat at the mouth of the hole was full. With the constant thrusting, a strong sense of pleasure hit Wu Jiaxin's heart. She was starting to enjoy the feeling. So comfortable, really comfortable. Wu Jiaxin twisted back and forth unconsciously. Every time, it was deeply pushed to the uterine opening. Suddenly, Wang Ran stood up and moved behind Wu Jiaxin. Huh? From behind. Wu Jiaxin blushed, her small mouth opened slightly, and her tongue ran out unconsciously. From the back, let Wu Jiaxin have a feeling of being conquered and controlled, so shy. Wu Jiaxin lowered her waist slightly and pouted her butt. Her long legs made the height of her hole just align with Wang Ran's pillar. Wang Ran grabbed Wu Jiaxin's waist and stabbed it hard. The column is directly submerged in the hole. Immediately after that, there was a continuous slamming in like a violent storm. Wu Jiaxin rolled his eyes directly by this wave of attacks. The saliva involuntarily hung down. Ha ha! Master, I'm going to die. Wu Jiaxin was talking nonsense, and unconsciously put a hand to his mouth so that he could his fingers. Wang Ran slammed forward. Wu Jiaxin's eyes widened instantly. Ah, this is... Puff. The thick white liquid was poured directly into Wu Jiaxin's body. Wave after wave. Wang Ran didn't stop pushing and thrusting. With the spray, Wang Ran continued to attack Wu Jiaxin. Wu Jiaxin's body was like a wine barrel, being constantly stirred. Master, will it leak out? Wu Jiaxin turned around and looked at Wang Ran with blurred eyes. No, your mouth is so tight that not a single drop will leak out. As Wang Ran said that, he stretched out a hand in front of Wu Jiaxin. Wu Jiaxin's cheeks were hot, she opened her small mouth, and put Wang Ran's fingers in her mouth, as if tasting delicious food. The hull continued to oscillate, and it took a while to stop. If it weren't for the probe to look at the situation, Tang Tang thought that there was a problem with the ship. Okay, I can go back and watch the streaking show. Wu Jiaxin looked depressed. How did it happen? This is too sudden. Hey, if only I was on a plane for the first time in my life. On board, okay. I said, are you sure you still need to wear this bikini back? Wang Ran watched Wu Jiaxin hurriedly wearing a bikini. I'm going to wear a skirt. Wu Jiaxin ran back to the cabin with bare buttocks and blushing face. Before long, she changed into a dress that looked normal. This is so much more normal. Wang Ran looked at the time. If the direction was correct, he should be able to reach his destination in 15 minutes. 15 minutes, another exercise is really not enough time. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 126. Originally, the simple climb for the two of them took a full minute. After going up, Wang Ran took off Gorehowl and held it in his hand. This axe is lighter than the Doom Hammer, but it is still very interesting to chop up zombies. Wang Ran found a thicker rope on the deck, fixed it and threw it down. Big boats and small boats have to be tied up, or they don't know where they will go. After finishing this, Wang Ran took Wu Jiaxin and started to walk towards the cabin. This is a large cruise ship, and Wang Ran's current position is the deck of the bow. Theoretically, the cabins should be on both sides of the cruise ship. Anyway, it's better to go to the middle of the cruise first. Wang Ran looked up and saw that the transparent glass of the cockpit was full of handprints. It seemed that the cruise ship had also experienced a zombie crisis. There is really nowhere to hide. A closed place like a cruise ship is especially prone to mutant zombies. I just don't know how powerful it will be. Wang Ran found an axe on the wall of the cabin and handed it to Wu Jiaxin. Prepare for battle and be careful. Wang Ran asked softly. Wu Jiaxin nodded. After fighting Wang Ran several times on the yacht just now, Wu Jiaxin felt that his strength had improved a lot. Drinking blood can be more effective than before. Wu Jiaxin fell in love with this feeding method. Now that she is full of strength, she just wants to find something to release her. The two found a cabin door and entered the cabin smoothly. As soon as he entered, Wang Ran smelled a strong smell of blood. This taste. It smells so bad. It feels like a rotting corpse is constantly fermenting in a confined space. If it wasn't for Wang Ran and Wu Jiaxin's physique, they would have vomited earlier. In addition to the taste, Wang Ran felt a coolness as soon as he entered. In the entire cabin, there seems to be no anger at all, which is creepy. Owner. There shouldn't be ghosts here. I'm not afraid of zombies, but I'm afraid of ghosts, such as ghost ships, like a pale arm suddenly sticking out from the wall. Wu Jiaxin held the axe and pressed it tightly beside Wang Ran. Just finished talking. The door of the guest room next door suddenly opened, and a pair of pale arms grabbed Wu Jiaxin. Wu Jiaxin was so frightened that he slashed over with an axe. Although panic, but the strength is still very strong. The white zombie that rushed over was directly split in the head with an axe. Scared me. Wu Jiaxin said while pressing his chest. Just mention the white arm, and this appeared. It's really a crow's mouth. The axe got stuck in the head of the white zombie, and Wu Jiaxin took some effort to pull it out. This corridor is quite narrow, which is actually beneficial to us. We are one after the other, and we don't have to worry about being besieged by a large number of zombies at the same time. Just a little bit of attention when passing the guest room. Wang Ran reminded. Wu Jiaxin has weak combat experience, but after going out this time, he should be able to grow a lot. Wu Jiaxin took a blood when he came up, and his mood was much more stable. He held an axe in both hands and slowly followed behind Wang Ran. This cabin passage is very long, and only the front is illuminated by the sunlight outside the cabin door. It gets darker as you go in, and you can't see the head at a glance. There are only a few lights on the top of the light that are flashing and flashing. It can be said that the further in, the more terrifying the atmosphere. Wang Ran had long been accustomed to this kind of environment. How scary can Resident Evil 7 be? Wang Ran turned on the flashlight and moved forward slowly. The house numbers on both sides of the corridor show 2XX, which means that room 4302 should have to go up 2 floors. This corridor is quite long, and Wang Ran and Wu Jiaxin's movement speed is very slow, and they have to deal with zombies rushing out of the room from time to time. It took a few minutes for the two to arrive at the junction of the corridor. Here again is an outward hatch, and on the other side are the stairs to the upper level. Owner. Why didn't we just go outside? Wu Jiaxin suddenly felt that walking inside and walking outside seemed the same. Your question is a very good one. Actually, I want you to be more adaptable to such an environment, which will help you improve your strength. Wang Ran made a fool of himself. Oh. Wu Jiaxin nodded, as if it made sense. After fooling Wu Jiaxin, Wang Ran's flashlight turned upwards and walked up the stairs slowly. The most dangerous is when going up the stairs. Because the head will be in a position where it is easy to be attacked from all sides. Wang Ran's flashlight could not illuminate all angles, so he could only adapt accordingly. Really? As soon as Wang Ran showed his head, a dark red tongue rolled over from the side. Wang Ran turned his wrist and directly illuminated the opponent. It was a thin zombie with a tumor on its face and green smoke. Mutated zombies. Looking at the strength, it seems to be at the level of silver pupils. The mutant zombie's tongue tightly wrapped around Wang Ran's arm. He smiled smugly, as long as it was rolled by his tongue, it was basically his food. Wang Ran sighed. Ugly and laughing, it's really unappetizing. If it wasn't for Wu Jiaxin to experience this level of zombies, Wang Ran would have killed him in seconds. The mutant zombie suddenly changed his face. He found that he could not pull this human. He has eaten no less than 20 humans on the boat, and even a tall and mighty strong man can only be dragged away by him obediently. What the is wrong with this human being? Jiaxin, kill him. Attention, this zombie with green mist is poisonous. Be careful not to inhale poisonous gas into your lungs when killing. Wang Ran pointed at Wu Jiaxin next to him. Well, I see. I'll try it out. Wu Jiaxin walked up the stairs with the axe. The mutant zombies were stunned. Brother, what are you doing here? I don't want to eat you anymore, go away. The mutant zombie wanted to speak, but his tongue was grabbed by Wang Ran, so he couldn't speak at all. When the mutant zombies were confused, Wu Jiaxin came to him with an axe. The mutant zombies had their tongues caught, and it was very difficult to dodge. It didn't take long for a dozen wounds to be cut on his body. Mutated zombies want to cry. Kill, kill, and kill slowly with your own tongue, it's too much. Just don't think of zombies as zombies. Humans are horrible. This is the last thought of the mutant zombies. The next moment, he was caught by Wu Jiaxin, who chopped off his head with an axe. Green poisonous gas drifted away. After Wang Ran's reminder, Wu Jiaxin withdrew decisively, avoiding the poisonous gas. But in the next second, a hand suddenly stretched out in the darkness and grabbed it towards Wu Jiaxin. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 127. When the blood-stained claws were about to touch Wu Jiaxin's neck, Wang Ran's axe flashed. The two arms fell to the ground in an instant. A hunchbacked mutant zombie wailed and ran deep into the corridor. A zombie who has lost both hands is difficult to maintain balance, and it is quite miserable to fall a somersault after jumping a few steps. Kill him. Wang Ran ordered. Wu Jiaxin thought for a while, raised the axe in his hand, and threw it at the hunchbacked zombie. The axe hits the back of the hunchbacked zombie. Wu Jiaxin chased up a few steps, stepped on the back of the hunchbacked zombie, and pulled out the axe. The zombies don't struggle very much, and it seems that they are dying. Wu Jiaxin remembered Wang Ran's reminder that all the zombies must be killed. She raised her axe and chopped at the hunchback zombie's head. The hunchback zombie is very depressed, his back is full of carrion, and he is not afraid of cutting. I originally wanted to pretend to be dead and then take the opportunity to continue to escape, but who knew that this woman would behead her as soon as she came up? Hey, being a zombie is so hard. Wu Jiaxin decisively hacked the hunchback zombie to death. Master, I'm great. Wu Jiaxin turned his head and tilted his head proudly. How good are you? Wang Ran cursed. I still don't have a long memory, do I? After killing Long Tongue just now, you slack off. If it wasn't for me, you would have been ridden by this zombie. Now that you've killed this guy, you were not careful about your surroundings, and you turned back to say hello to me. Wang Ran scolded Wu Jiaxin. Wu Jiaxin lowered his head, very depressed. Wang Ran was right. If she greeted him and there was another zombie sneak attack behind her, she would definitely be hit. Wu Jiaxin obediently walked to Wang Ran's side. Now that the relationship between the two has broken through that layer, Wu Jiaxin is naturally more obedient to Wang Ran. Come on, go directly to the 4th floor. When Wang Ran walked back to the stairs, he looked back at the depths of the passageway on the 3rd floor. He always felt that there was a pair of eyes looking at him there. Should be a strong zombie. But the other party also seemed to be afraid of his own strength, and did not do anything. Forget it, find the target character first. When can zombies not be killed? Wang Ran took Wu Jiaxin to the 4th floor. There are skylights on the 4th floor, and the light in the corridor is better. But the gloomy atmosphere did not diminish at all. Wang Ran and Wu Jiaxin walked around the corridor a few times. There are a lot of zombies on this floor, but their strength is weak, and mutant zombies are rarely seen. After some exploration, Wang Ran finally found room 4302. Wang Ran stretched out his hand gently, and the door opened. The door is not locked, the situation is not very good. Wang Ran frowned. If someone is inside, or if someone is still alive, it is impossible not to lock the door. Wang Ran pushed open the door and walked in slowly. This is a room by the window, the light is okay. The room is relatively clean, and it seems that no zombies have come in here. There was no one in the toilet, not in the cupboard or under the bed. Master, are we here for nothing? Wu Jiaxin asked. Look and talk. Wang Ran carefully checked the room. A notepad on the table caught Wang Ran's attention. General hotel rooms have this thing, but few people use it. Wang Ran picked up the book and turned it over, and sure enough there were words in it. If it's someone who came to the rescue after receiving my distress call, please turn over the mattress. This is a sentence combined with Chinese characters and Hanyu pinyin, and the order of the Chinese characters in the middle is also out of order. Presumably the person who asked for help did not know any encryption method, so he could only write reminders in such a way that Chinese people were less stressful to read. Wang Ran lifted the mattress at once. Inside is a USB stick and a palm-sized box. There is a code on the box. Although Wang Ran can brute force cracking, but this may destroy the contents inside. Since important research results are mentioned in the distress signal, it is natural not to mess around. Wang Ran put things into the backpack and tightened the zipper. There is also a piece of paper under the mattress. Wang Ran picked it up and looked at it. This time it was written in serious order. I'm out of food. And there are more and more zombies in this forward cabin. In the early hours of this morning, I heard that the floor downstairs began to be broken into by zombies. It should be a conscious mutant zombie. They are searching for humans from room to room. It is estimated that it will be our turn to fourth floor soon. I decided to give it a shot and try my luck in the second half of the cabin. Zombies are only interested in flesh and blood, so I put the most important research materials here. If you read my note, you should be Chinese. Please help me bring these things back to the state. Lu Shiyao. Wang Ran smiled. If you are a foreigner who knows Chinese, you can understand it with a little effort. This Lu Shiyao was probably desperate to think of this solution. Master, she said she went to the rear cabin. Are we going to save her? Wu Jiaxin asked. Wang Ran doesn't care much about other people's lives, so she doesn't know Wang Ran's plans. Go and see. It's coming anyway. After all, it's a researcher from our country, so let's save it if we can. Wang Ran took Blood Roar and walked out with Wu Jiaxin. The cabin of this cruise ship is divided into two parts, front and rear. In the middle deck is a huge swimming pool, surrounded by some supporting entertainment facilities. Wang Ran is now in the front cabin. Wang Ran and Wu Jiaxin came to the end of the fourth floor cabin. There is a slide that leads directly to the pool below. It seems that the researcher named Lu Shiyao escaped from here. This cruise ship has this kind of flower head, really good at playing. Wang Ran sighed. For safety reasons, Wang Ran took the lead in getting on the slide, with Blood Roar facing down, slowly sliding down. Wu Jiaxin followed closely. I don't know if it was because it was too dry, the friction in the middle of the slide greatly increased, and Wang Ran's speed suddenly dropped. But the speed of Wu Jiaxin in the back did not drop. Wang Ran's head was directly covered by the dress. Wu Jiaxin shivered instantly. Originally, it was very difficult to slide down the slide in a skirt, and you needed to hold it down with your hands all the way. Now it actually covers Wang Ran's head directly. What a shame. For the next part of the journey, The two sometimes accelerated, sometimes rubbed, and finally came to the swimming pool. Wu Jiaxin blushed and was speechless. Wang Ran touched the top of his head, feeling like he had washed his head. They don't have much time for awkwardness, though. The water in the pool submerged their knees, and the water was full of swollen floating corpses. Many zombies are rushing towards them with red eyes. Add more, ask for dozens of blades. Probably the feeling of Wujiaxin.jpg. Pi time is up. Today Pi a car text written by LSP. After Tony came to another world, his biggest dream was to build his own dream factory. Shoot all kinds of good-looking movies. Tune the acting skills of movie heroines and communicate with them in depth film art. Various warlock skills mutated beyond recognition, and the kid turned into a blue rose. This is not the most exaggerated. Summoning Succubus, a strong man with the name of the Pirate Empress, came to reinforce across time and space. Demon Guard, a swordsman with a baby face, always smiling, willing to fight for you. Bad Warlock's dream works. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 128. Wang Ran slashed horizontally with an axe, causing the two nearest zombies to separate up and down. Soon, Wu Jiaxin also joined the fight. It is a little inconvenient to move in the water, but these are ordinary zombies, and it is not difficult to deal with. After a fight, Wang Ran and Wu Jiaxin finally got out of the pool. Damn, this pool is too dirty. Wang Ran shook his feet in disgust. His feet were covered in smear and blood. Fortunately, I hung AJ around my neck before I came down, otherwise the shoes would not be able to be worn in the future. Wu Jiaxin also looked depressed. The hem of her skirt was all stained with blood. The little white shoes have also become the little red shoes. However, Wu Jiaxin was still very happy to see Wang Ran taking care of her son AJ so much. Wang Ran looked back at the pool. There are at least hundreds of corpses inside, which shows how tragic this deck was before. The two crossed the middle deck and came to the two gates. Behind this door, was originally the dance floor of the cruise ship. I don't know what it will look like now. Wang Ran pushed the door with his hand and found that it could only be pushed open a little. Don't think about it, it must be blocked by something. Hey, just bring a hammer. Wang Ran smiled. With the doom hammer in hand, no door can be opened. Axes are not suitable for splitting doors, so use your feet. Wang Ran put on his shoes and kicked out fiercely. There was a muffled sound from behind the door, as if something blocking the door had fallen. Wang Ran quickly kicked again. This time the door was kicked open a crack. Through the crack of the door, Wang Ran saw a few frightened faces inside. It's human. Not a zombie. Stop the people outside. Let's open the door. Too much movement will attract zombies. Someone inside shouted at Wang Ran. Wang Ran nodded. It's best to save effort. There was a heavy rubbing sound from the door, presumably something was being moved away. Soon, the door was opened. Wang Ran saw more than a dozen survivors armed with sharp weapons, and was looking out vigilantly. Come in quickly. There are all zombies on the opposite side. A white-bearded foreigner wearing a captain's hat said nervously. Wang Ran nodded and led Wu Jiaxin into the hall. A few people quickly moved two freezers and a piano behind the door and blocked the door. You also came from the front cabin. I thought the people there died yesterday. Ah yes, I'm Captain Fred, hello. The white-bearded old man wearing a captain's hat extended his hand to Wang Ran. Wang Ran shook it copingly. Captain, wouldn't it be enough to block the door of the freezer? This person can kick things half away with one kick. If this powerful zombie comes. A man with a mustache reminded him. I was able to stop zombies before. Ah. This friend, shouldn't you be an awakener? Captain Fred's eyes lit up. The Awakeners are powerful, and they can fight even if they encounter powerful zombies. If they have an Awakened to join, the security will be even higher. But Wang Ran was not interested in chatting with them. The lives of these people have nothing to do with him. Right now, as long as I find the researcher named Lu Shiyao, I can leave. Is there a Chinese named Lu Shiyao here? Wang Ran asked. Lu. Is that woman? Captain Fred's eyes changed. Is she here? Take me to see her. Wang Ran said it directly. It seems that Lu Shiyao really came here. That's not what I said. Captain Fred was a little embarrassed. Tell me where she is and I'll find her myself. Wang Ran said and walked towards the cabin. Wu Jiaxin followed closely. Young people, don't be impulsive. I'll explain the situation to you. Captain Fred trotted after him. A week ago, a zombie virus broke out on our ship. After the chaos of the first few days, 3 Awakens appeared among the passengers. They led the rest of us and took the second half of the cabin. And the first half became the zombies' lair. We each occupy one place, and the situation is temporarily maintained. Although the zombies will come to attack once every night, but relying on the leadership of the 3 Awakened people, we still barely hold. In the next few days, the strength of the zombies is getting stronger and stronger, but fortunately we have a few more Awakened people, and now there are a total of 7 people. The 7 of them formed a temporary ruling class, and the rest of us surviving ordinary people have to follow their commands. Since we can survive, we will recognize it. However, these days, their demands are getting more and more excessive. They started grabbing food, giving us a small share, and sometimes find some female survivors to serve them. We have no way. The Lu you mentioned seems to have escaped the day before yesterday. As soon as she came, one of the 7 Awakened people took a fancy to her and asked her to serve. But this Lu is still very tough, holding a dagger stained with zombie blood in front of his neck. He would rather die than give in. The Awakened person took a fancy to Liu's beauty and was reluctant to let her die, so he locked her in a guest room, gave her no food or water, and waited for her to yield. It's been 2 days. Captain Fred sighed. Wang Ran suddenly stopped. Where is the Awakened? Take me to find him first. Wang Ran said coldly. This little temper came up all of a sudden. Chinese researchers in China, are you foreigners who can touch them? Really bad. Ah. Are you trying to trouble them? Young people, don't be impulsive. There are so many of them. And their boss is more powerful than ordinary Awakened. You will only ask for trouble if you go. Captain Fred kindly reminded. It's okay, just tell me the location. Wang Ran said lightly. All right. Lu seems to be at 3511. As for the other Awakened, the entire 4th floor is their territory. Captain Fred said helplessly. Okay, let's go first, the picture may be a little later. Wang Ran said to Captain Fred. Captain Fred was stunned for a while, knowing that he couldn't persuade him, so he shook his head and prepared to leave. At this moment, a strong black man came down the stairs. Yo, here comes the newcomer. It looks good, I guess James will like it. The black man laughed recklessly. Hit my woman. Wang Ran sneered. No, you misunderstood. I said it was you who looked good. James likes men. The black man laughed. Puff. Wu Jiaxin on the side couldn't help but laugh out loud. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 129. Wang Ran's face was ashen. What kind of idea hits you? Lu Shiyao's affairs are not important in an instant. Now Wang Ran just wants to kill that James. Yo, are you still not happy? Let me tell you, James wasn't very happy at first. But when they found out that widening the body passages can be exchanged for food, they are now actively looking for James. After all, of the 7 of us, only James likes men. More monks, less porridge, is that what you say? The black man grinned, revealing a set of big white teeth. Wang Ran had a general understanding. None of these 7 awakens are good goods. Relying on their own strength, occupying resources, and letting others exchange their bodies. Originally, Wang Ran only wanted to kill one of them, but now it seems that it is okay to kill all of them. Wang Ran went straight upstairs. Yo, can't wait to find James. He's upstairs, remember to wash up before looking for him. Black people reminded. Wang Ran raised his hand and tapped the black man on the skull. The black man's brain sank into a large piece and fell to the ground cold. On the side, Captain Fred's face turned white, even though he was originally white. You killed him. Other awakens won't let you go. You better run away. Captain Fred reminded. Take it easy. Wang Ran walked directly to the 4th floor with the axe. Wu Jiyi also trotted and followed behind. As soon as you go up to the 4th floor, it is a big entertainment place. Dice, poker, slots, everything. Several men gathered around a pool table, and a foreign woman shivered and sat on the pool table with her legs outstretched. A strong bald man is holding a club, aiming at the white ball and the foreign woman. Don't move. How can I get in when I'm always moving around? The bald man scolded angrily. The foreign woman was so frightened that she could only try her best to control herself. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps at the top of the stairs caught their attention. Oh, what's up with Robertson? How can you just put people up there? But, this little brother looks quite delicious. A man with an enchanting figure walked towards Wang Ran. Why is your name James? Wang Ran took a look and found that this person's style was inconsistent with the others. Tisk tisk tisk, little brother, you have heard me. Then you should be here specially for me. James looked at Wang Ran, his eyes lit up. This figure, this appearance, is much more fun than the previous guys. I really came here just for you. Wang Ran smiled and looked around. Q. Too thin. Wang Ran saw the fire extinguisher and his eyes lit up. That's it? Wang Ran walked to the side, grabbed the fire extinguisher, and walked straight to James. Yo, are you here to help me vent my fire? James licked his lips. Wang Ran came to James and directly reached out and pressed him on the gaming table. You. James suddenly felt wrong. The opponent's strength, so great. Is this to be yourself? Wrong. The roll is wrong. Hey, I'm attacking. James struggled. Wang Ran didn't speak, took a fire extinguisher, and forcibly stuffed it into James' ass. James rolled his eyes and fainted. The other people at the next table felt that Kikube was tight. This is so cruel. James looked like he was dying. Even if he survives, maybe he'll change his hobby. This friend. Are you here to make trouble? An awakened looked at Wang Ran with vigilance. Being able to stop James with one hand is not to be underestimated. Looking for trouble? No, I'm here to kill you. Wang Ran picked up the gorehowl next to him and said with a smile. Kill us. You're too much. Everyone is human, there's no need for this. The 5 awakeners on the opposite side were all provoked. I don't really like talking too much before killing someone. Don't beep either. Hurry up in line to die, I'm in a hurry. As Wang Ran spoke, he dragged his axe towards the awakened ones. Boss, what should I do? This guy is for real. An awakened asked softly. Fight first, then admit defeat if you fail. If he's really that good, this place can make him the boss. I see that the zombies on the opposite side are getting more and more powerful. We may not be able to support it. The bald-headed man seems to be the boss of these people. Wang Ran walked in front of a few people with a calm face, and when he swung the axe, it was a horizontal slash. Swish. Before the two awakeners in the front had time to react, they were cut into two sections. When their upper bodies landed, they were still conscious, but Wang Ran directly stepped on his feet, popping and stomping on their heads. 3 left. Boss. The bald-headed man knelt down without hesitation. The two younger brothers in the back quickly reacted and knelt beside the bald head. It can't be beat at all. Or admit defeat as soon as possible. I heard that someone locked a Chinese girl in her room. Who did it? Wang Ran asked coldly. Yes, it's him. A long-haired man pointed to the awakened who had just been cut in half on the ground. Wang Ran looked at the long-haired man, his eyes flickered, his forehead was sweating, and he was obviously guilty. SHH. The long-haired man's head flew into the sky. We all surrendered, and you still kill. The bald man's face twitched. This is a bit too much. When did I say that you will not kill if you surrender? Wang Ran was an axe again, and the awakened beside the bald strong man lost his head. The bald-headed man knew that he was definitely going to die. I fought with you. The strong bald man suddenly burst out and punched Wang Ran in the chest. Wang Ran was too lazy to dodge, and puffed out his chest slightly. Crack. The bald man's wrist was broken. You, what kind of strength are you? The despair in the bald man's heart continued to spread, and he couldn't even notice the pain on his wrist. Wang Ran didn't answer, and picked up one backhand. The round bald head flew up and landed on the pool table. The bald head looked at the number 7 ball in front of him and slowly closed his eyes. The foreign woman on the billiard table was terrified. Pissed off a bald head. Come on, no one cares here. Wang Ran said something to the foreign woman, then turned around and walked downstairs. Soon, Wang Ran came to the door of room 3511. That researcher named Lu Shiyao should be inside. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 130. 3511's door was locked with an iron chain. It looks like the long-haired man did it just now. Wang Ran directly grabbed the iron chain and tugged it hard, directly destroying the chain. The door opened. Wang Ran walked in with Wu Jiaxin. In the corner of the room, a girl with glasses shrank into a ball, holding a dagger in her hand. From her deep dark circles, it could be seen that she hadn't slept in the past 2 days. In order to protect herself from being violated, she also worked hard enough. Don't be afraid, the group of awakened people upstairs has been killed by me. Wang Ran said in a soft voice. At the same time, Wang Ran gave Wu Jiaxin a wink. Wu Jiaxin immediately walked up to the girl, held her hand gently, and put the dagger down. Wang Ran took out a carton of milk from the backpack behind him and put it in the girl's hand. I have been hungry for 2 days, and it is not easy to eat anything else directly. The girl took the milk, tore the box and drank it. Soon, a carton of milk was consumed. The girl hiccuped and continued to stare at Wang Ran. Wang Ran sighed and took out another pack of Milisu from his backpack. This was the snack he was planning to eat on the plane. Milisu didn't have much in stock, and Wang Ran was a little reluctant to eat 1 bag less, but seeing that the girl was so hungry, she threw it to her. The girl caught Milisu, tore the package and poured it into her mouth. It's delicious to eat. When she ate the last one, she seemed a little embarrassed, and lowered her head and handed Milisu to Wang Ran. Okay, eat it, I don't lack this one. Wang Ran waved his hand. The girl's eyes lit up, and she immediately put the last Marisu into her mouth. Another hiccup. This time, she looked more comfortable. Wang Ran took out another pack of wet wipes from his bag. Could it be that I had to stuff this into my bag, but I didn't expect it to come in handy. Wu Jiaxin took the wipes, took out a few, and wiped the girl's face and neck. Afterwards, she helped the girl comb her hair. It looks so much prettier this time. And it also revealed the breadth of a mature woman. Thanks. Oh yes, my name is Lu Shiyao. The girl pushed her hair behind her ears and introduced herself. I know. You put out the broadcast. Wang Ran smiled. You. Aren't you on the boat? You heard the broadcast, so you came to save me. Are you sent by the state? Lu Shiyao excitedly threw a bunch of questions. I was just passing by and stopped by to have a look. You said that you are a researcher from Huaguo, do you have any proof? Wang Ran asked. Lu Shiyao thought about it and took out a certificate from his pocket. This is my work permit. I was affiliated with the Huaguo Institute of Biological Research and was sent to work with a private biological company to develop a thing. The things in the middle are very complicated, so I won't go into details. Lu Shiyao replied. Wang Ran looked at it, and there was indeed the seal of the Huaguo Institute of Biological Research on the certificate. Although he didn't know whether it was true or not, from the perspective of the girl's integrity, she looked like a national scientific researcher. Correct. You said just now that you killed all the awakened ones upstairs. Are you strong? I want to ask you one thing. I have something very important in the forward cabin. Can you help me get it? I will definitely, the country will definitely repay you. Lu Shiyao grabbed Wang Ran's hand and pleaded. You said this. Wang Ran took out the box and USB flash drive from Lu Shiyao's room. Ah. That's it? Lu Shiyao reached out to take it. Wang Ran put the things back in the bag and zipped up. This thing, let me go first. It's not safe to put it on you. Wang Ran said lightly. Lu Shiyao was stunned. It seems to be the case. Give you 5 minutes to recover your strength. Leave in 5 minutes. Wang Ran ordered. Did you come by boat? Ah. Can you help save the others on that boat? Lu Shiyao helped Wu Jiaxin to sit on the edge of the bed. Other people don't care about me. I save their country and give me little red flowers. Wang Ran smiled. You. Lu Shiyao bit her lip. Wang Ran is right. In this environment, it is indeed impossible to ask people to be the Virgin Mary. It's not easy to survive on your own. Moreover, when there are too many people, there will inevitably be people doing things. I now have an important task and must return to China as soon as possible. The lives of others can only be ignored. Yes, this gentleman. What's the situation in the country now? Is the virus leak serious? I've been on the boat and haven't had a chance to communicate with people on shore. Lu Shiyao asked. From her experience, she certainly knows the seriousness of the virus leak. But she still had a bit of luck. Hopefully with luck, the zombies can be contained. The whole world is almost at a loss now. Before the power outage, I didn't hear of any city restoring order. The strength of zombies is also getting stronger and stronger. However, there are many awakened people in the human race, and they can barely fight against the zombies. Wang Ran explained. This. I hope my colleagues in the Domestic Research Institute are all well. If something goes wrong at the institute, no one can solve the virus problem. Lu Shiyao gritted her teeth. Aren't you from the National Institute of Biology? Why did you go abroad? Wang Ran asked curiously. Lu Shiyao looked at Wang Ran and felt that this person should not be a bad person if he could save him. Some superficial things aren't secret either, just tell him. Our National Institute of Biology, in cooperation with a private biological research institution, is developing a drug that can stimulate human potential and improve physical fitness. I was sent by the state. In the beginning, the cooperation was smooth and the progress was quite fast. But Lu Shiyao frowned. This scene reminded Wang Ran of how angry the teacher looked when he couldn't answer the question when he was in school. Lu Shiyao frowned, making people feel like they wanted to admit their mistakes. But, some time ago, I discovered a terrible secret. The control of this bio company has changed, and the new master has a crazy plan. They are spending more energy on the failed product found during the experiment, a virus that can turn creatures into zombies. And, I realize they have an intention to throw this virus on the world. So, I immediately brought important documents, pretended to be a tourist, and wanted to take a cruise back to China. Who knows? Add 1. P.S. I will travel to Hangzhou tomorrow, but the update of Chapter 3 will still be guaranteed. Pi time is up. Dear love. Karen's face had a smile of Hessian, and she looked at the poor and helpless Otto who was by Judas. Can you explain, why every time you come back from a business trip, you have to bring at least one beautiful girl home? The cold muzzle touched Otto's forehead. Karen, listen to my explanation, you know, the person I love the most has always been you, they are all. He, what is it? Several other voices sounded in Otto's ear, and at the same time, his neck also felt the cold touch of different weapons. They are all my wings. Ahead is hell, Otto-sama. Otto-sama, I like beautiful girls the most.